morning.
Morning.
Well, it was a great event. The MeXPAC Challenge, great atmosphere, great venue. Jaguar Nation came out and showed up and supported us. Unfortunately, we came up on the short end of the ball game. Very disappointed from a coaching standpoint, execution standpoint. But at the end of the day, guys played hard, they fought hard. Like everything that we saw that we needed to do is very correctable. And as I told the team, everything we want to do is still in front of us. The only thing we can't do is go undefeated. So we're discouraged. Well, we're disappointed, but we're not discouraged. And we're getting ready for Mississippi Valley. Questions?
Coach, on the depth chart going to that game, y'all had Jalen listed as starting quarterback, but that wasn't the case. So what happened leading up to kickoff for that change?
It's an in-house deal, as I said before. Some things that we have to take care of in-house, and we're going to just leave it at that.
Moving forward, is it going to be a week-by-week thing for your starting quarterback, or is Cam your guy right now?
Well, they're still competing. Both are competing. We're going to play both quarterbacks. This age, I said before, this new age of college football, we're going to play the best players. And so we're not going to just necessarily say we're going to play one guy. We're going to play the guys that's going to give us the best chance to win.
Obviously, Cam came out really hot in that first quarter, leading to that first touchdown. What else did he do that you really liked and kind of saw the promise in him?
Well, he led the team. He managed the game. I think he did well in terms of executing what we wanted to do. Of course, there's some things that we got to clean up, some things that he saw that he needed to fix in terms of a few missed throws. We're a touch here and there from having some big plays. But overall, I thought he did a good job.
Elijah West, is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's banged up a little bit, but he'll be all right.
What do you feel like was the biggest difference in the first half and the second half?
Adjustments. Adjustments was the thing. I don't think we adjusted well in the first half. I don't. I felt like we didn't adjust to what they were doing. It wasn't nothing that we weren't prepared to see. It was just the adjustments and the execution of it.
After taking a look at the film, what did you really see and dissect from your defensive line?
Oh, we got to fit better. We got to play better. We got to beat one-on-one protections. We got to get to the quarterback. We never move the quarterback off his spot, and so we just got to work from the coaching standpoint to the player standpoint. We got to work to win the one-on-ones. Those guys slid to Kelvin Givens all night. They chipped him. They did that. So when they're doing that, somebody else has to make plays, and that's just how it is. You got to make plays. If they're keying on one guy, somebody else has to step up and make plays.
When did Cameron, learn that he was going to get that start last Saturday?
He learned it probably Friday night.
We didn't see Dupree Fuller until later in the game. Is the plan maybe going forward to maybe utilize him a little bit more? What was the, thought process behind that? Yeah, we have to use him. We have to get him more involved in the game. I think one time we missed him. He was wide open on a seam route, and we just got to, at the flow of the game, we got to get him more involved early on. Well, what they were doing schematically, a lot of times they were trying to, roll down into the areas where the tight ends were because they know we have two good tight ends. So they were doing some things schematically to try to take away the seam ball, the intermediate passes. So it kind of negates what you want to do with your tight ends when they start doing that.
Coach, you said all offseason that this quarterback job, it was Jalen's job to lose. I guess to see him not seize the opportunity, how disappointing is that?
Not disappointed at all. I mean, everybody has an opportunity. You got to make the most of your opportunity. And so just like he took advantage of his opportunity last year, someone else is going to take advantage of opportunity. Everybody has the same opportunity to play. So that's why it's important that everybody is prepared and ready to go because you just never know when their number's going to be called.
Obviously, Trey had a really great game, but Mike, I thought, had a pretty good outing as well. Just what did you see from him and just that running back group as a whole? Well,
I told you it was going to be running back by committee. And I'm not surprised that Mike, I was glad. I kind of knew that the test was going to see how they were going to attack Mike or Mike was going to attack them. And I knew it. I knew that they weren't really going to try to hit Mike because when you talk about 6'2", 225, coming downhill, that's a lot. You got to make some business decisions. And so, Mike got us off to a good start, and then Trey comes as a great 1-2 punch. And then, we got some other running backs that got a chance to play. But that was the premise by going to get the big back. We wanted to have the so-called thunder and lightning type of combo. So that's why, we did that, and it was good to see those guys have some success.
How much do you feel like y'all spotted North Carolina took some points with those two special teams?
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's really troublesome. We work on it, and then to go out and to have those kind of breakdowns, is really troublesome. It's very troublesome for me because not only am I a defensive guy, I'm a special team guy. And as I said, the shank punt, I was glad that he shanked it because the protection was broken down, and the guy had to close his eyes because he should have blocked it. And so in hindsight, it was good that he did get the shank as opposed to the double thud. Now, we got to go back and take a look at all that, what we're doing schematically, personnel, because we have to win the special teams games. That's hitting yardage that we have to win. And so we're going to go back and we're going to take a hard look at that as well as our offense and defense. But, it was very disappointing to put them in position to get two basically easy touchdowns.
Do you see any benefit in, having that week 0 game? You know what your team can do and where they struggle in week 0. Now you guys going in and playing teams that haven't played yet. Do you see any benefit in that? Yeah,
you get a chance to work on what you didn't do in week 1 or week 0. And now you can fix it because you played against an opponent rather than always practicing and scrimmages against yourself. So I think it helps. It gives you a chance to see what you're doing and what you're not doing and fix the things that are broken. So there are some benefits to it, but then also the flip side is when you're playing an opponent with a new staff and things of that nature, it kind of makes it, you got a basis to go based on concepts and schemes. So it makes it a little different.
Trey Holly brought up how the Chucky doll sort of reminds him, just because you're undersized does not mean you're not as, potent. I guess, what do you think about just having that motivation and sort of being a sort of atypical size player but still being effective?
Well, motivation comes in many ways. And if Chucky motivates him, so be it. I mean, he also, his favorite running back is Barry Sanders. Go figure. So, we constantly argue about who's the best running back ever. And he's going to say Barry Sanders. If I bring him in here now, he'll ask all of y'all. He's going to say Barry Sanders. And I'm going to say somebody big like Bo Jackson or Derrick Henry. So, so whatever motivation he has, so be it. I'm glad. Whatever gets him going, I'm fine with it.
Coach, what do you feel like is the biggest difference at Mississippi Valley State now compared to your time there?
They have more resources. They, scholarship-wise, we had less than what Division II had. We had 4 full-time coaches. We had a $6,700 recruiting budget. Wow. That's just the facts of it. And but the thing is, we always said nothing was going to prevent us from winning. And we worked hard. We recruited well. Those guys, hats off to the guys in the Delta because there's a lot of good football in the Delta. And those guys are scrappy and relentless. And, we got those guys to buy in. Guys came to Valley and played hard. And so they have a lot more. They got brand new field, brand new school board. Like I said, they have more scholarships. So, it helps. And it's good to see that program get those resources because, Valley's a school, a member school in the conference. And you always want to see schools do well in terms of giving those guys access. But at the end of the day, we're going to go up there. We're going up there to win football games. So it won't be, nostalgia or some type of homecoming for me or nothing like that. My goal and my mission is to go and win at Mississippi Valley.
Would you say it's a disadvantage that they have film on you and you don't have film on them at all?
No, it's not a disadvantage. I don't have to, you have to go find out concepts and schemes of where guys. It's no different than when, case in point, North Carolina coordinator came from that, or some schools in the conference. So you don't watch North Carolina Central's defense from last year, or other than just personnel. You go and watch the coordinator where he was previously because schemes usually don't change. Schemes, you can tinker a scheme here and there, but they usually don't change because if you're a 3-3-5 guy or you're a 4-2-5 guy, you're a 4-3 guy, you're going to be that most of the time. So you go and you look at that scheme and figure out, okay, this is how he attacks this is how he does that or what have you. and then you go out, and then you just gotta make the adjustments on game day, you know, because it's different personnel at a different school, so you just gotta make the adjustments.
Valley doesn't have anyone on the SWAC preseason for second team offense defense. I guess how do you keep your team from, I guess, overlooking an opponent that may not have quote unquote stars that people know about?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just being picked preseason is just that. You know, that's you got to put people on that team for some way and somehow. It doesn't matter if you're not on preseason teams. You know they still have football players, and whether they are recognized or not, you got to go out and play. And our guys understand. We respect everybody. We don't fear anybody, but we respect everybody. So they understand what we have to do.
Do you think your team maybe has like a chip on their shoulder, that maybe they have something to prove that, you know, last weekend wasn't a good representation of, you know, who they are as a team?
I don't think it's a chip on the shoulder from last week. I think it's a chip on the shoulder from not winning the championship last year. And so we still have those goals in front of us. So we just got to take it 1 week at a time. And like I told them, to get the bitter taste out of their mouth, you got to win this week. And so we got to start that. We started that last night. We had good practice last night, great energy. Guys did a great job with our running and conditioning. It's probably one of our harder conditioning practices on Monday than any other time during the week. And those guys, they did well with that. So the mindset, you can see that those guys are locked in and focused last night. And I think they're hungry, chomping at the bit, ready to get that bad taste out of their mouths.
Well, we'll decide who gets to start the game on Saturday.
Again, it's going to happen this week. We'll see how well they prepare this week and how they play this week. So we'll go from there.
Middle linebacker. I know you guys struggled in the front seven, but Mike Jones had a great game, all over the field. How did you assess him when you turned on the film?
He played well. Mike played well. Mike was making plays down the field, did a great job of open field tackling. You know, he was stout. That's the Mike Jones that we recruited. You know, that's the Mike Jones we bought from junior college, and it was good to see him get out there and have that type of game, because when Mike Jones is playing that kind of way, that just makes us better.
Thank you, Coach Driggs.
All right, Coach Jags.